I'm Vivian. Welcome to my working space now that we can't get into the studio. I've taken over one of the back bedrooms and I have reorganised things, although there is never enough space. And as you can see, I've got a lot of stuff out. So I've got my painting palette out and I'm in the middle of doing an oil painting. And I've got my easel and work. In the morning it's lovely, I can look out of the window when in between my work, see the greenery, hear the birds. But in the afternoon, if it's sunny, this room is a bit too hot, so I have to shut the blinds. So putting work up everywhere, and I've got my easel, and I've even taken over the ironing board, and it's been a really nice place to work.
What are you planning to make today?
I'm making green mountains because in Nepal there are loads of trees that grow on mountains, so they're green.
Okay. And what are you planning on doing? What are you doing?
I'm making a stupa out of a paper mache.
Ah.
This is our Nepal city set. Here is a temple with birds and yeah. Here is a stupa and a house. This is a sculpture of a goddess. That's a fruit basket. And here's a temple. There are mountains in the background and the sky. This is our memories of Nepal being wiped away.
I went into lockdown on the 15th of March, moved all of the contents of my studio into the front room of my home in North London. The room started to become a live-in installation. I'm building structures from cardboard and other found materials, and these expand inside the room, and the room is growing into a sort of archive of hidden, closed-in spaces. That is where daydreams live. It looks like a life-size dollhouse or a theatrical set where stories are enacted or stored, where you need to unpack memory after memory to reach the most intimate corner of your daydream.
Recently, I've been working in a tiny room, my paintings around me. But when it is hot, I've moved out to the garden. The flickering sunlight, the greenery, my drawings and images help to inspire me. I use a range of materials, paints, collage, pastels as well as photographs. while I cannot be in the London streets where I started my project, here I am out in the garden, painting and drawing. I'm considering the passing of time, the impact of place. My research has traced my own ancestors' life in London, then and now. And while our world is changing around us, it's even more poignant for me to trace these fragments, memories, and reflect about how our lives connect. So here I am. I work at the easel with paints and pencils, my camera, or my sketchbook.
This is my current workspace. As you will see, I have all my materials laid out for easy access. This morning I'm working on a street scene in Hampstead, North London. I took a photo when I was out walking one day, then I've used this as the basis for a drawing. I've then gone on to develop the drawing into a painting. The painting's currently at the very initial stage, and I plan to develop this using acrylics. I'm very lucky to have this very large space available to me. It has incredibly good natural lighting, and I'm able to leave my materials and easel close by when we convert it back to a dining room.
So anything that's relying on satellites, and our GPS relies on satellites, so the satellites themselves can be impacted, and also the signals as they travel from the satellite to the Earth through the Earth's atmosphere can be affected as well.
So Inside Science has been following the Solar Orbiter mission with interest. I'm just wondering, Lucy, what's next to look forward to?
There's always something exciting with Solar Orbiter, and now the spacecraft has started its cruise phase, so all the instruments have been set up, they've been shown to be working really well, and now the cruise phase takes us to the point in time where Solar Orbiter is on the right orbit to start doing its science. I have to say the teams have already had a sneak preview at those images and that data, and things are absolutely fantastic. And I can't wait for everybody to be able to see what the sun looks like from up close. We'll keep an eye out.
The COVID lockdown meant the closing of CityLit. What did this mean to me? Did I want to continue with the course? I thought probably not. As for me, the whole experience of catching the train up to Charing Cross and walking along the Strand to the college, often at night in the rain, was an integral part of the art I was doing. Seeing things in the city, speaking with people on the streets and at their work, connecting with people and hearing their thoughts occupied my mind. Lockdown ended this experience. Art was not something I did at home, but in a class or on the streets. However, I decided to finish the course, now online, so that I could at least have a proper ending, bring all the different things I've been working on over the last 2 years together, create some kind of a record. I also found a different way of connecting with people. This has been by joining front window actions in support of Black Lives Matters and Grenfell campaigns. I can quickly paint a message, light it and put it in my porch. I also found that friends and family could become my collaborators, responding to my request to send in absurd imitations of themselves as birds and animals for me to put into a short video piece. Transformations in many senses. Thank you.
Welcome to a studio in the eaves. For a quarter of a century, it's been our daughter's bedroom. Now a sanctuary, a place to think, create and daydream. Currently a container of billboard creations, a space to experiment, play with materials, light and sound. The bed, now a platform for installations. The northern light changing throughout the day. Sometimes I gaze out of the window and I watch the clouds drift by. Sometimes I work late into the night, forgetting the time. Good night.
Hi there, this is my little playhouse which I've stolen from my grown-up kids to do my art during this time. It's really twee and it's got these lovely gingham curtains and I can hide from everyone here and just concentrate on my painting and drawing. It's been a good time to try out all the materials which I've bought over the years, and it's also helped me to decide which direction I want to go in next. I think the online tuition has worked well, possibly helped by the fact that we know each other already, and it's easier to focus on a one-to-one basis with the tutorials with the tutors. I also find that putting all my artwork online, it's much easier to access and to talk through with everyone. Having said that, all this doesn't replace seeing each other and our art in real life. I really miss bouncing ideas off each other and going down to the cafe together, but thankfully we'll still keep in touch via Zoom on a weekly basis.
This is a piece of work I made during the lockdown. It's called COVID's Rubbish, and it's made out of all the recycling that I didn't throw away. I segregated it into white, black, light brown, dark brown. I bound it with rubbish, with wire, with rope, and it sits on top of the detritus of the only copy of Vogue that I ever bought. It was the one that was edited by a Duchess.
Welcome to my studio. It's where I spend all my time. It's not a physical space. It's a cerebral place. A private place. Inside my head. Behind my eyes. Because the eyes are the gateway to the soul. And art is the journey to free the soul. Welcome to my studio. I'd love to visit yours.
Hi, I'm Britta Pohl and I'm a painter. This is my studio. I like painting everyday life, capturing a moment or a feeling. Some of my paintings explore the energy and emotion of movement in daily activities. I mainly paint in oil, on boards, canvas, paper or acetate sheets.
So this is the wheelhouse of my boat, which has been my studio for the past 3-4 months. It's been nice to appropriate it for painting and making because it's such a bright, beautiful space. My work often references the natural world. I was born in the northeast of Brazil, and it's a very wild and beautiful place. I find it really exciting looking at plant forms and looking at the way that things grow and the kind of explosion of growth. It's so powerful and mesmerising. Sometimes when I'm here in London, I feel like that world is so far away from me. I miss it a lot. I feel like I'm from two completely different planets. So I guess there's a part of me that's trying to sort of get close to this other world that I can't access at the moment. So I think what's been interesting about this time is that it's made me have to draw from what I have around me. And I think that's been quite good for me because it's sort of, I've kind of had to find this otherness in these places here and in these objects here.
Hello, I'm Kate Fabian. This is my art space, my art sanctuary in the corner of the room. Come over and have a look. I'm working on a piece right now that is watercolour pencil. And here is a collection of some recent works that I just keep looking at to see if there's anything else I want to finish. Oh, this is still part of the one I'm working on right now. Some collage pieces. My stash of materials down on the floor, a rather messy, chaotic stash of materials here for some collage work. Some of my inspiration on the walls, which is other people's beautiful stuff that I've found along the way at museums and galleries. That's all. Just wanted to show you a little bit. Bye!